Hello from Finland. We're at Kymiring, although we are here in Kymiring. It's still an ongoing discussion. My name's Andrew Coley. This is Hal Ridge. Kymiring, yes. This is what Hal keeps reinforcing. It's fine by me. I can't remember all the pronunciations of everything. Kymiring. It sounds better. Kymiring. It sounds, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We're here for RallyX. We're having a single header weekend. If you didn't join us earlier on today, fantastic new rallycross track. The layout is absolutely brilliant. The drivers are enjoying racing on it. The only problem is it's been built in the last 6 weeks and the track surface is not fully bound. There are things that you can do to churn the surface up, and then you add certain ingredients in, and then you put it back together and it binds it together. How we're just making sure that we can keep racing this weekend by staying on top of the track maintenance through the sessions. Yeah,
and brilliant job by the organisers here and predominantly RallyX for making this event happen and yeah, doing everything that's necessary to complete that.
Indeed. So what that means is a few more track repair sessions than you used to, and as I say, a single header weekend instead of a double header. This is Stubberud, Fredriksson, Schnackis, etc. and Yilalami. Down towards turn one, Yilalami comes in from the outside line, but then runs a bit deep, contact between them, they're all over each other, climbing up on top of each other. Yilalami ends up P2. If there's no damage on that machine, I don't know where the fourth car's gone either. Hell, there were 4 at the start of the straight, one of them's gone missing. It's a long straight.
And we're quite tight on the camera angle, so we didn't see what we might have done in turn 2. So
Yilalami under a bit of pressure here from Stubberud.
Oh, there is the casualty, which is I don't actually know who that is at the moment.
A young driver.
So Yilalami's still there.
Yeah, and
Fredrikson's still there.
So it's either Schnack or etc.
I think it might be Schnack, because I think it was a blue flash at the front of the shot we just saw. Yes, it is Schnack indeed, because his etc. is at the front of the field, and there is Schnack clearly with the bronze and white livery on the speed car wonder. Yilalami runs deep into the Joker section. Interesting Joker strategy.
I wonder if that might be the old belt to the groin injury there, Hal, because poor old Schnack, he's bent over double at the side of the track.
I didn't see that.
Gave the thumbs up to the marshal, but he's clearly in a bit of pain. I mean, to be fair, you can be in a bit of pain even if it doesn't get you in the groin. It just the impact with your belts. We didn't see it, did we? We didn't see the off, so we saw a bit of contact, but I wasn't sure who it was between. I thought it was between Yilalami. Actually, yeah, maybe it was Yilalami and Schnack. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll see the replays. Track's been groomed, as you can see. Layout's cool. Here's the jump. The drivers are all saying the jump's good. You fly long.
Long and low.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want.
Well, it doesn't necessarily make for the best images of all time, but certainly in spectacular terms, it's cool.
I think also it's safe. I mean, you know, gap jumps are fine until somebody doesn't make the gap. Luckily, we've never had that happen. It did make me nervous a few times.
What in the history of gap jumps it has happened?
Yes. Oh no, I remember. Yeah, just not in the Nitro Cross era. No, I remember. Hakenin, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a couple back then.
Yeah. So, blimey, you can hear the limiter there at the end of the straight for somebody, couldn't you? It's a very, very long start straight. There's Stubberud Fredriksson coming through, and you can just hear it at the end of the straight. We often hear the junior cross cars on the limiter. We've never heard the FC2 on the limiter before, and how if they're not from a standing start on any flying that, they're well on the limiter at the end of the straight. 3 seconds.
Little hop there as well for his etc. coming onto that. It's not even a tabletop, is it? But just that step up now onto the tarmac where the track's been groomed is another little element. And look how clean his etc.'s machine is compared to Fredriksson behind, which is always indicative of being out front. Being
the leader, that's what you want. It's that double right-hander there that comes up from low in the infield onto the top of the tarmac, which I think has been causing the most problems in terms of where the holes are. The Joker obviously is pretty good because most of the rotation on the way in is done on the tarmac, so you can see on the right-hand side of your screen now. Through the gap, and then that gives you a little bit of an indication of that downhill. You want as much as you can get. Tommy Hellman earlier said that he made a mistake coming onto the straight, Hal, but because it was coming onto the straight, the data showed he lost a second.
It just carries, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
magnified.
So frustrating when you have that sort of thing. It's like but that's a circuit driver tends to be much tidier in those scenarios because you don't necessarily in circuit racing. You've got to tie all the corners together in the same in a way that you can sometimes get away with in rallycross. Oh, he's hit the
Schnack. So Schnack got he got tagged.
Oh
on the
wow!
front
Look at
too.
the contact between Ease Etc. from that angle and Yililami as Ease Etc. drove over Yililami.
So where is?
Oh, just pushed.
He doesn't get hit again? Does he? By the cut? No. Okay, so that explains what was going on in the background.
You can imagine being a bit winded from that.
You're whipped, aren't you? You're whipped around. Interestingly, when I saw Tommy this morning, he was like, I lost the second and a half because of track conditions, and then he's obviously looked at the onboard and gone, actually, hang on a minute. Some of that might have been me. Yeah. Ouch. Ouchie. Well, hopefully Schnack is okay. Yeah, not holding wrists or anything, which is what is always a bit of a worry. He's etc. with a 3:27.3. It was a 3:24.7 was the winning time of this morning's session. Remember, only doing Q1 and Q2, maybe a bit of Q3 today, depending on what race director Rainy Snittish and race organiser Andreas Eriksson decide between them. Figure out whether or not we can get a full 4 qualifying sessions in, or whether we err on the side of caution and do 3. So it might be 2 qualies today, Q3 semis and finals tomorrow. Which, looking at the track and the fact that we ended up with another track grooming session in between cross car and open 2-wheel drive this morning, that was an extra 15 minutes we weren't expecting when Ollie Eriksson kindly joined us in the studio.
Did you just mention Andreas?
Yes. Is he?
Well, I've just been to get a biscuit, and he was loading his lunch onto a plate with the man.
Here he is.
With a lot to do.
Yeah, he is wolfing sausages and mashed potato and
as usual, an epic amount of ketchup.
Yeah, he does like his ketchup, doesn't he? Yeah. He's there, he's scoffing it down. He doesn't know we're live commentating when he's going for a bit of sausage out there. See, ketchup on the top. They can rev their engines as much as they want at the start line. We're not ready. It's going to be a little while, I think. Yeah. How's your lunch, Andreas? Is that all good? Nice? Sausage? You went for the sausage, not the fish option, yeah? Yeah, I had the fish. It was very good.
At this stage, I don't know if the fish is left. Please
thank Maria for us, as always. Andreas, it's the first time Andreas has been back in the tent all day. He's been out driving. I've seen Andreas look pretty hard worked over the years, but he's looking like he's working pretty hard this weekend. So yeah, he's been out in his pickup truck, looking at stuff, moving stuff around, driving. Here comes Mr. Larsen as well. Wow, another very tired-looking individual, Hal.
Who, Ronnie Larsen? Yeah.
Yeah.
A trudge, that is.
Right, excuse me, I'm going to eat a biscuit. Enjoy the cross car being picked up by a truck. So what he's doing here is he's kicking the winch, and that's what you do to make it work, Hal, isn't it? Hal's eating a biscuit, so he won't be able to reply. Brilliant. Stay with us. So we're up, oh, that's a good old squeak from me, wasn't it? We're up on the slow drone, as we like to call it. So this is our high and wide, that's in TV terms. And it gives you lovely wide shots of everything. Yes, please, Hal, I'd love a cup of tea. Thank you very much. Have you still got the sticker on yours? Yes, you have. So we can tell between our two tea mugs. So Hal's going to go make some tea. Hopefully at some point you guys will get to see us eating our lunch earlier. So lunch arrived and then suddenly it was 3 minutes to on air. So what we took it in turns to eat lunch whilst the other one commentated, which I think will make for a reasonable social media piece, unless you're really off-put by grown men eating their food like 2-year-olds as fast as they can and not chewing very nicely. But it was an interesting 20 minutes. I've never actually eaten my lunch on air before, but sometimes a day goes like that. Right. Svedlund, Nielsen, Perämäki and Hukka. Svedlund needs a better result here, doesn't get a great start, though, going to end up P3, not as bad as Hägglund Nielsen's start was. Hukka on the outside of Perämäki. Perämäki with a brilliant number across the front of the car, but Hukka with a brilliant move on the brake squeezes Perämäki into that braking zone. Perämäki now shuts the door on Hukka behind. Sorry, not Hukka. Hukka's out in front. Hukka runs wide. Perämäki alongside. They bash wheels. It was Svedlund who was looking from behind on Perämäki. In the end, it is Hukka, Perämäki and Svedlund. 1, 2, 3. And in fact, out the back, Hägglund Nielsen's not really far away, Hal, after practically stopping on the line. Yeah,
just a result of the fight between those three at the front, as Svedlund is all over the back of Perämäki.
And indeed in the back there, a little bit of contact as they came through that gravel section.
This is Svedlund in the Kazmat machine against all of the speed cars in this session. I love seeing the diversity in the chassis as Svedlund gets sideways on the way up to the Joker section, almost gets collected by the Dane behind in Nielsen, but gets away with it just.
We've not seen that so far, have we? The split in strategy, one going left and one going straight on like that. But he was maybe a bit more sideways than you think, Al. You don't think it was just a choice of line, you think too sideways?
Yeah, I think he's had a bit more rotation than he would like sometimes. Look at that, that's a proper circuit racing shot, isn't it, with the heat haze coming off the track here in Finland. It's super warm today, isn't it? Lovely rotation for Nielsen, but just get it squared up a little bit on the way into turn 2. Hukka's pulling away up front. None of these top three have been into the Joker, but this is a great recovery, as you said, from Nielsen, having made that pretty poor start.
Slippery conditions here and there where the track's been wetted down. That section actually where you can see the puddles up the top there is a very brief, it's almost a tabletop of tarmac in the middle of the gravel section where another road sort of crosses over. It's not intentional, I think, but with the elevation change in it, you just see the cars get a little bit unsettled as they come across. Hägglund Nielsen looked like they were going to go Joker, but Perämäki was obviously going to do it, so Hägglund Nielsen goes standard lap, backs the car in beauty. Look at that, just enough rotation, but keeping it straight on the exit to find the traction. Nicely done.
This is a good run from Hukka up front. 1:04.4 that time around. Basically impossible to match any lap times compared to the previous run, but a 1:03.770 was the best lap from Alex Antila in Q1.
This is the purposeful jump. This next section, look at this. This is the pavement bit. I mean, that tabletop in the middle is tarmac under the dirt. And you can see there's like a road going across, and the track comes up to it and then drops away. This is downhill, though you can't see that too well. And then through here, this is then uphill. Fairly steep, but short and steep. Across that section on the grass, and then back out onto the main circuit. I did a lap of the main circuit yesterday, slowly and responsibly in my rental car. And it's actually great. What a fantastic facility. It's had a few issues over the last few years, and so therefore has had a bit of a false start, I suppose, on what they were hoping to do with it. The original plan, I think, was to try to get MotoGP to come to Finland. They need a circuit like this. Motorsport obviously is hugely popular here with their incredible heritage. Hukka takes it and is quicker. Not by much though, look at that, 27.345 to 27.320. So he goes quicker, the quickest time of the session by 27 hundredths of a second. Yeah, massive motorsport heritage in Finland. They love their Formula One, obviously. Yeah, big fans of nearly all motorsport, in my experience. So it's good that they've got such a fantastic circuit. It's only an hour and a bit away from Helsinki. Hukar with the win over Hagelin, Nielsen, Perämäki and Svedland. So Carl Svedland not having it all his own way at all here. The most consistent driver in the series with 4 wins so far this year. And never off the podium, but currently, what was it? Well, okay, he was sitting 5th after the last one. Svedland, let's see if we can get it together tomorrow in the semis and the finals. Long way to go yet. So P2 Pira on the inside and number 16. The 2-1-4 is P2 Mäntylä-Mäki. So Mäntylä-Mäki with the best start around the outside. They are side by side. Just in behind him. P2 Pira going to run deep. They both run deep and sweeping through into the lead. Alex Antila from P3 to P1 with a lovely move in the first corner. Just gets it done. They both run just a little bit wide. I don't know, they dragged themselves in there on together. But Rick just executed that beautifully. Hal, thank you for the teammate. That was a mega move in turn 1. Slotted through.
Antila with the fastest lap of the previous session, doing a great job there in the first corner. Strong this weekend junior cross car, isn't it? Little to choose between them. See that with the dominator or the dominant force so far this season of Carl Svedland. Definitely not having it all his own way.
No, we were just saying he's P5 currently, so he's not. But in this session, Hal,
he's already down
in P5. So you'd assume a couple of these drivers will beat him. So Svedland is not going to be in the best position to execute one of his normal results, that's for sure. Attila's move was lovely. It was so opportunistic, easy. What are you doing there, Hal? A little tweak on the old volumes, yeah?
Yeah, just do my own mix.
Yeah, nice TV stuff, yeah.
Attila's driving really well here. I wonder if he's been here. Not suggesting he's been cheating, because you can test as much as you want, but definitely looks like he's well on top of this track and car in a way we haven't seen, I don't think, so far. Always there or thereabouts, but this is the drive of someone who's right on the top.
I do think it's interesting what Fraz said earlier on about coming somewhere where nobody's been before.
Yeah,
is a nice leveler, isn't it?
And especially in a series like this, because those that do the whole championship tend to have been to the tracks at some point. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well,
and even the local drivers haven't raced here before. No. Usually you come somewhere like this and the local Finns will know the track.
We've done 3 local national meetings there, whatever. But yeah, for the first one to be an international meeting is a bit different. So Antila, if we see a battle here, Pira, Mäntylä-Mäki. Peter Pira, look at that on and off the brake and just getting the rotation into that long right-hander.
Pira also did a 1:03.737, so that is the fastest junior cross car lap of the day so far.
Mint, sideways in turn 1. That's the way, Hal. It's not quite full cent medal, but it's almost. Right, Alex Antila aiming for the target time of 3:27.3. The double right-hander and then up towards the Joker lap. Here comes the fight for P2 and 3. The way the mud flaps shape when they go over the bumps, you sometimes think there's a problem with the suspension, but it is not. It is just those mud flaps banging up and down as the suspension soaks up the bumps here. Antila through the Joker on the outside. It's going to be way closer than I thought it might. And Antila over the line. This is definitely the fastest time. But by how much? It was a 2:27.3, it's now 2:26.0, 1.3 seconds quicker, but 2:28.0, crucially for Carl Svedland. Everyone except for Manisto, who's crossing the line at any moment, beating his time, so Svedland's going to end up P8 in this one, Hal.
Not ideal at all for the speed.
Have a look at this turn 1. So you've got P2 Pira here in Antila. Antila goes, you know what?
The inputs on the wheel.
But doesn't want to get stuck in here, look. And look at this. Look at this.
Beauty.
Cheers. See you later. Taxi. We say it time and time again, but just such good car control from these kids. It's crazy.
And spatial awareness that I think some
adult
other drivers could do with watching.
Yeah. 3:26.0, Alex Antila takes the second qualifying session for Cross Kart Junior. Terraping, Orav on the inside line, Terraping on the outside. Orav gets a brilliant start. Oh, and then gets out-dragged by Maiju Niemi. Has out-dragged them all to the first corner, just drove away. Got to keep it now nailed onto the apex, having a look up the inside. Orav is there, but Niemi's parked it nicely as well, so Niemi gets the whole shot, gets away. Brilliant.
Threw it into the first corner with the experience of, with the driving of a much more experienced campaigner. Absolutely pitched it in, middle of water there over the merger. Was that there before in the juniors? I wonder if they've just put a little bit more water down. Now
there was a bit with juniors. It's that one pavement section, I think, where it's not draining through. But
you cannot water in between races during a session because it's all based on time, but you can water quickly between two different categories should you wish to do that. So you never know what they're trying to do trackside here as Orav, that is.
Goes Joker.
Goes into the Joker. I'm sure I've had darker green livery on.
I think you're right. I think it's slightly brighter. Maybe it's just the sunshine, Hal.
I'm baffled by that.
You're baffled. Brilliant. I love it when Rich comes up with an unusual turn of phrase. He's baffled. There you go. That's more like it. See?
Oh yeah, it's got dark again.
Yeah.
Racks.
Yeah, rack. That's another boring TV term for you. Oh God, we're dull, aren't we? What's going on in the YouTube comments, Hal? Any hate? Any love?
Some questions about Nitrocross.
What do they want to know?
What's going on?
The promoter says it's on pause. That's the only update we ever had.
There's lots of Finnish flags. I suspect that's because there were all Finns in the previous junior cross car race. Now it's the most competitive category in RallyX, full stop, since the time we've done it. Oh, I know what I need to do. I did some stats.
Oh, did you, Hal? Wow. That's it. Don't turn your mic off before we put cans down, yeah? You've only been doing this 5 years, maybe longer. Niemi continues to lead, but hasn't jokered yet. So where is Niemi versus Orav? The gap is 3.8. This will be really close because we think it's 4 to 4.2. Oh, you've handwritten some stats, Hal.
Yeah, I need to finish them.
On a Tierperina piece of paper. When did you start these stats?
The other night.
Oh, okay, not the other year.
No.
Right, Niemi with a big push. Orav in the background going for it as well. So Lucas Orav versus Maiju Niemi. Maiju had 3.8 at the start of this lap, but I have to say Orav is looking a little bit closer than that. Niemi, she's sideways as she comes through the right-hander, now into the left. I'm loving the chrome finish on this cross car as well. She's driving the Kazmat, so up into the right-hander now, watching for Maiju Niemi, who you're looking at. Look on the right-hand side for Lucas Orav. Orav's going to get there first. So Lucas Orav into the merge. 3.8 was not enough, and over the line it's going to be overturned, I reckon, by a good couple of seconds the other way. It's a 2.8, that's mad. So Orav had an absolutely, must have had a fastest lap, 59.0 on that last lap. That's brilliant. That's a second, 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else went in this race. So Orav has done a fantastic job. But Hal, Orav joking on lap 2, so that's carrying the extra speed to turn 1, isn't it? That's what we were talking about, the potential for the fast lap.
Yeah,
on the last lap.
Mega job capitalising on that run. Sometimes it just works for you, and sometimes you can't make the strategy work like that to have the pace either, because you might be in going to compromise your position otherwise. So yeah.
If you're wondering what we're on about, if you come off the Joker lap, you get a faster top speed down the straight, but the finish line is halfway down the straight. So if you Joker on the last lap, you can't take advantage of that. If you Joker on the previous lap, you can. And the same thing works at Estering.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there are other tracks there.
Estering was the one, though, wasn't it, where people were like, oh, hang on a minute. Isak Cetra, Lucas Jensen, Tree, Gotherson and Muru. Good start on the inside for Isak Cetra. Middle of the grid 2 for Vettel 3. Vettel 3, Gotherson black and yellow in the background. Vettel 3 slots in behind Isak Cetra in the first corner. Gotherson gets a little bit of contact there, but manages to hold. Oh, who's gone straight on? Somebody went straight on. Just glanced down at my notes, and he went straight on. Cheers. So
Isak Cetra, Tree, and Gotherson out front. Muru is the fourth in this pack, so it's Jensen at the back of the field. Murray without the big rear wing, so I wonder if they're trying something different there on the P-Tech Extreme machine, because we saw that in Riga, didn't we? And with his teammate a little earlier on with the Mahusiv rear wing, so maybe a bit of development going on there.
Yeah, or you know, a track-specific thing, couldn't it? With the big straight, Hal, could it be as simple as a top speed thing?
Yeah, drag. The drag coefficient of a big wing is not quite as good, so
take it off.
Yeah.
Or do what Subaru did in Canada that year and saw the middle out of a beautiful $5,000 carbon fibre wing to test.
We saw that.
Do you remember?
In Italy as well, didn't we? When Albertec took the rear spoilers off the Peugeot 208s in 2014.
Was that the original layout where it went miles out the back?
The only layout. We only went there once, didn't we? I think.
Did they not change the layout for Italian stuff? I'm sure they took out the back loop.
There's no rallycross track there at all now.
Oh, what a shame. Yeah, it was super long. Maybe we discussed that year taking it out, but I do remember it was super, super long. What's going on here? Getting messages coming through. Etc. continues to lead from Vettel 3. The gap is 0.9 of a second, or was.
Etc. is doing well here again.
Spin.
Drops it.
Too much on the stops. Right underneath the drone as well.
Classic. When I was looking at timing screen at Etcetra's lap times, who's doing a solid job here again. Against a stronger field, you would argue, than he did in Q1. Vettel tree behind has jokered, but the gap, Andrew, is 5.3. So I would say Etcetera needs to joker this time around, as it's the last lap. But I would say that's plenty good enough.
Certainly should be. See, last time out, we saw that gap eaten up between, or having the Amy, excuse me.
My goodness.
Yeah. The noise of rev limiters in the distance, how you know people are trying very, very hard in their cross cars. Track not looking too bad through the double right-hander.
Close to the apex there, and the cones for Jensen. This is where we're seeing the merge. It's going to be closer than I thought, actually. That's Vettel Tree on the inside, but Etcetera, the compatriot Norwegian to Tree, is going to get it around the outside. Etcetera stops the clocks on a 3:09.8. That is substantially quicker than Orav went, but Orav was caught in that battle.
Marshall's off the grid. Frederick Martin, Matas Sabat, Zalaskis, Pascal Benson and Armin Raag. Raag is still running the big rear wing on the outside. Great start in the middle of the grid for Jonathan Hoffman. Oh, super squeeze there. Zalaskis had to back out of that. They all blast past Frederick Martin on the inside. But all the way around the outside goes Armin Raag with the big rear wing. Can he get it in though to the apex without losing too much time? Stays on the gas around the outside, but it's not quite enough and loses out a position.
Hoffman was so good with the positioning up the inside there. There was the whip from a speed car wonder and no more. We got up the inside of Raag, who is running that rear spoiler, unlike Murray, who wasn't in the previous session. But I noticed Murray was running the end plate on the bodywork with the number on, whereas Raag is using it as we saw it in Riga. So clearly they're trying some stuff there and good on them. There's Martin with the three-letter analogy livery. That means he's got nothing on it and doesn't really care about it, which looks kind of great to me.
Did we mention earlier whose son that is?
Yes.
We did, didn't we? Yes, we did. Marco Martins. I've still not seen Marco in the paddock.
Have we not?
No. You seen him?
Yeah.
I've not run into him yet.
Don't spend enough time in the paddock then.
Oh, we'd never get to normally, do we? I've got to wander about today. It's been nice. Oh, I'd like a bit more to wander about, but
you're too busy eating lunch. Pentinen,
no rest for the wicked.
Well on top of the cross car in a way that he wasn't maybe so much in the supercar. He did a little test in Cova a few days ago in the Fiesta. There are seldom people who drive as much in cross car as Pasi Pentinen. He is very experienced in a cross car now, isn't he? And he came out with a brilliant phrase, I think it was last season, about the ratio of events he's able to do because of his marital status.
Yeah.
And
he's a great demonstration of why not to get married, isn't he, Hal?
Well, he does what he wants, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything else to worry about, seemingly, and does a lot of driving.
He does what he wants. He does what he wants. And this weekend he's racing twice.
Yeah, full of RallyX branding, which is not anything to do with any sponsorship. But the championship is he's got a close merge on the run to the line, but can't get through.
So Rag is the leader of those who's joking. He is 4.2 off the back of Hoffman. We really are struggling to get any solid delta. We need two quick drivers sort of mistake-free on a final lap to see what that delta is. We think it's about 4, but we've been proved wrong by more than 2 seconds on a couple of occasions. But maybe that's indicative of the conditions and how hard it is not to make a mistake.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's just there's so many variables. Someone asked in the comments, do we know why he's etc. switched to cross cars? Yeah, we do. He can go racing with his son. They've got a nice little 2 cars.
Spin out. Zawalski's. So Zawalski's going around trying to get quickly into the Joker. Last lap, we'll come back to that in a moment. The merge is going to be tight. It was 4.2 between them. Armin Rag coming down, but the exit from the Joker lap is quicker. So over the line, it is going to be Hoffman who takes it by a tiny margin from Armin Rag. It's going to be 0.3 of a second. And at 3:12.5 though, not enough to take it. Slots him into P3 or P4. Yeah, go on, Hal, you were saying about doing cross car.
He's etc. Yeah, just can go racing with his boy. They've got a nice little 2-car team there. It's not cheap to do RallyX Riga. It's not cheap to do any Rallycross Championship. But yeah, there's a little bit more practical doing RallyX North, living in Norway, and yeah, that's why they chose to do this. I mean, cross cars are cheap to run relative to most other Rallycross cars, especially when you own them and you're not needing to arrive and drive. Yeah, you know, parts cost hundreds of euros or tens of euros rather than thousands and thousands of euros. So. They're very cost effective to run. You can run them a lot. There's interchangeable parts because they both run the Speed Car Wonder. They can carry the same spares for both the cars. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for what they're doing at the moment.
So this one is Andre Giel, Erik Nilsson, Oliver Lucas Jensen, Romet Cerner and Mika Heinonen on the outside. That is Heinonen in number 36. TN11 slots in behind the TN11 of Romet Cerner. Nilsson now out front, I think it was. Or now being mugged on the inside potentially by Cerner. If they don't come together, this could come off. They run a bit deep.
What a move.
I like turn 1. I really like turn 1, Hal.
Got all the rotation done on the way in, just found the gap on the inside, and it's Cerner who wriggled his way through there to take the lead. And look at the margin, already multiple car lengths. The gap at the front compared to the 4 squabbling behind.
I went on one of the recce laps this morning with Rainis in the car, and there was a couple of routes in that bank on the right-hand side on the exit of turn 3. And he said, can those be taken out? And I was like, you know what, I don't think they'll get there. Nearly everybody is banging a wheel into that bank on the exit of turn 3. It's brilliant. They really are using that like a snowbank. Ah, lovely last-minute decision there to drop out.
Jensen in the speed car, splitting the decision. Good choice from him.
You've got to go fairly ballsy, haven't you, to get out to that outside bail and carry enough speed into the Joker. Yeah.
It also works with the trajectory of the track. You've got your foot hard on the front of the car, doing a run so wide with it being rear-wheel drive before it returns to forward or spins. So you haven't got the weight in the car to carry you all the way out there sometimes.
There's that bank in the background that we were talking about.
Most of the jump's totally useless, isn't it? Because they're running so far to the edge to stay out of the dirty line, and that's where the racing line will be as well. So it kind of works twofold.
Alternate lines through this long right-hander here. Look at the ruts and see how bad it is. It's there. It's that once. It's the double right-hander over the crest back onto the tarmac. It's proving a bit harder. Nilsson goes up to the Joker now. So look at Nielsen, class act into the right-hander, close to the bail, then on the gas, a little bit more room over on the right, on the left, sorry, and then through here and flat out. Look at that, you can see the hands working. There was so much opposite lock just to keep it in a straight line. That's fourth gear there.
Properly hard work, isn't it? And a bit of bravery and skill comes into that as well. Skill being experience rather than absolute talent, because you just need to know where to apply yourself like that, and yeah, the risks are big, aren't they?
They certainly are. You get that wrong at that speed and you're going hard into the wall. You do need a bit of experience to be able to do that. When a car is sideways in fourth gear and you're telling everything is telling you come out the throttle and you can hang on to it like that, good effort.
A lot of chat about venues in the WhatsApp, in the YouTube comments. Yeah, people don't like the new venues, and I get that, and I'm a traditionalist as well, and I love old school rallycross venues. I'm having this discussion with some people who've been around for 30, 40 years this morning actually, and Cerner goes through the Joker so precise on that tyre belt. He's going to drive to the line, but has got a comfortable margin at the front of this field. What's the time going to be? A 3:06, is that? Yes, it is.
Wow.
So 3 seconds quicker than 3.5 seconds quicker than these, etc.
Seeing the benchmark move a lot, aren't we? You know, normally you see someone take half a second off it. People are culling it by many seconds. Yeah, go on, Hal. Venues we're talking about.
So yeah, I was talking to some people who've been around, much longer than I have, and yes, the majority of people would love to stay at the traditional old school venues.
Yeah.
A problem that a lot of them have is that they don't have the infrastructure for
bigger series.
The expectations of the present day. Everyone wants to watch Rallycross free on YouTube with this sort of quality of broadcast.
Straight away,
that's not possible if you haven't got any electric or internet. And it's really,
believe me, they had to run, so people understand, they had to run several kilometres of cable to Hollius, didn't they, to allow Hollius to be able to deliver both the media side of the sport, the requirements of the teams for social media,
fibre,
and the stream.
It cost a fortune.
Tens of thousands.
So some venues just aren't in a position to do that. It's not necessarily because of promoter fees or all the things that people moan about. The requirements now to just put on the basics, even if you've got old school rallycross, we're 20 years on. I think things have changed quite a lot in that respect.
Well, People ought to appreciate that. Has pretty terrible mobile signal at times, so we used to put masters for World RX to be able to get any of the data out. It's really, really tricky. Kong, Ugar, Yulalami, Merstad, and Lindequist. Lindequist moving from the outside of the grid from slot 5 to slot 3. Can he then move up on a roll? Over! Goes in, Merstad's gone over and back onto his wheels and drives on! That's a full set medal for sure! Onto the roof,
broken
onto
the
his
front
wheels
left
and
suspension.
away!
What a shame for Thomas Merstad. That would have been the drive of all of the time we've done in RallyX. All 45 rounds we've done since the start of 2020. That would have been the moment. Unfortunately for Thomas Merstad, he's got broken front suspension and goes no further.
I'm sitting with a massive grin on my face at what a hardcore legendary move that was.
The intention's there to continue.
But that's what's so good, isn't it? You know, it's like when you see a rally drive and we know the wheels are off it because we've seen the outside footage and they're in there banging it down the gears in the vain hope that maybe the wheels, maybe
dumping
that wasn't
the clutch, was that brake disc spinning?
Was that my wheel I saw going over the bonnet? It can't, maybe it's somebody else's wheel. Colin McRae, X Games, Gold Subaru, perfect example of just that wonderful press on regardless attitude, isn't it? I've rolled it, it's still in gear, let's go. Oh man, that's a shame. Lindequist was moving out from, say, P5 to P3, beautifully across the straight. I wondered how it was going to turn out in turn 1, and we never made it.
Merstad's going to be up here somewhere, yeah, on the left-hand side, pulled off to the side of the track. That's very fair of him, beached to the sand. What a shame for Thomas Merstad. We'll have to get him on the broadcast at some point to present him with his medal, because
that's a medal.
And I really hope that they haven't got too much damage to the car, because with it being a single header event, he now couldn't, even if they could get hold of a spare chassis, they now can't change because you're in the same event. Normally if it's a double header you could change ahead of day 2, but I'm sure it won't be that bad. They're tough things, the speed car wonder. There's a lot of chat about which cross cars people would choose. The TN11 has come on a lot in the last couple of years. But the Speed Car Wonder is an absolute machine.
Looks easy to drive, the Speed Car Wonder, but a TN11, yeah, I don't know, you feel like it's got development in it, don't you?
And then the P-Tech turned up in Riga and absolutely smashed it. And I was like, oh.
Jacket. Yellow Army leads by 5.0 from Ugar. Ugar was P2, Yellow Army was P3 in the previous session, so This is bearing in mind that Patrick Kong is Patrick Kong's P3, but 15 seconds back. Was Kong caught up in that turn 1 stuff, Hal?
I don't know. I was looking at Merstad who rolled, and
Linkfist still circulating.
Yeah, Linkfist is miles behind there, isn't he? Kong lost a bit of time, I think, but not loads.
Right, let's see then. Yulalami, we said earlier on our little paddock walk before we started that it's not gone the way that Yulalami wanted. Yulalami has changed chassis from, I think, the Kazmat previously, now running it to the speed car. Coming down the hill now, Yulalami versus Yugar on the run to the line. Oh, Yulalami bounces off the roost on the outside, gets a bit too sideways. Still holds on though. Is he going to get the target time? No. Yes, maybe. No. Can't tell. No. 3:11.2. Whoa, no, that's going to be P5.
Look at the closing speed off the Joker though, as Yugar closed back on Yulalami there. A real example of how much pace you have coming down the hill.
Right, here's a look at turn 1, Hal. Have a look at this. So look at this. Lindquist moves across beautifully. P5 to P3. Then does he come in too hot? No. Oi, oi, how did everybody avoid that? He doesn't even stop. He doesn't snap his rear wing off. This is epic behaviour from Eek Mercer. Look at this. Crosses up the front. That gets fired like a catapult with the forces of the 2 wheels. Back onto all 4. Bang, bang, down the gears. Here we go.
Chassis will definitely be okay from that because it never actually landed on the top, did it? It's just spun round on the wheels, a bit of a roll on the side. And really epic. Unlucky also to break the suspension because the loading wasn't actually that big. There's Linkfist who got back going again. What a shame for Thomas Eek Merstad. I'm gutted for him because that would have been amazing to get to the end.
Still epic effort. Right, so there's 2 medals. We've got one for Lindquist from Holland and one for Eek Merstad from here. Yulalami 3:11.2. That isn't enough for the session. Yulalami was in 3rd. And we're, yes, Callah's got the intermediate standing for us. You legend, Callah. So let's see what it all means as it plays out. Oh, look at the difference in points at the top. That tells you about the track conditions changing. So Romet Cernalet with a 35 and a 50 is your TQ man. Cerna was, where was Cerna? It was P8, sorry, P9 in the first session.
1-2 for the Pace Motorsport squad with Martin Yugar second and Yulalami switched cars
3rd.
And
be happy with
clearly that. Much more satisfied.
What you were saying about, it's just a change. It's not even necessarily that it makes any difference, but you get the change and you're laughing, aren't you? So Eric Nilsson, Espenix, etc. Lucas Jensen, Kong, Vettel 3, Jonathan Hoffman. How many, what would do, 3 semis, I reckon? Probably top 18 through. Lindquist down in 15th.
Maybe 3 semis.
Yeah, look.
It's 20, there's loads of them.
Yes.
I've only got 1 page.
It's on the other side.
I've got 2 double-sided.
Double-sided printed. There we go. Wow. Thank you, Callah, for the points. Much appreciated. Right, what are we doing now? We're going for a little break before we come to what's going on. Somebody tell us some stuff. They have a little track clean up? I think they are. Right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will. So stay with us because this is going to be. What are they getting this car? We got any more racing? No. So we're going to take a very quick breather while they do a bit of track regrading and this recovery, and then open tool driver here. So don't go anywhere. This will be the same stream. We might be back any minute now. Give us a minute. We're making a plan. Right, getting themselves ready. So this might get us back on track and allow us to do a bit of Q3 tonight. There are several contingency plans in play. Number one is we might try and get a little bit of Q3 away later on today and then some tomorrow. But it all depends on track repairs and how long that takes, so bear with. Vennerlein and Hammer, Jensen, Sari and Ikonen on the outside. Hammer didn't get away. Vennerlein has got an absolute banger of a start in the Smurf Flamemobile. Watch for flames out the back of the Smurf car. That is the entire purpose of this car, is to burn fuel with fiery flames out the back. That's it, really, as far as we can tell, apart from being a weapon in the open two-wheel drive class. Come on, Smurfmobile, let's go. Boy, it's a bit rougher for them than it was in the first session. There we go. So, Vennerlein leads. I think it's Jensen in P2 it is. Oh, no.
Yet more problems for Sari, who retired from the first one in the second of the Datsun Fins in this race.
Ah, no idea, eh? Ikonen in P3. Was it Hammer that was left on the line? Hammer did get away, though.
Yeah, it was in the background over the jump on the on that long shot.
And he's still triggering the sector thing, so...
Yeah, he's in the background. See him there in the Skoda Fabia.
So Vennerlein has absolutely got away here, Hal. That's one lap in, and it's a gap of 7.3. Listen to the noise from Vennerlein's car. Hal turns up the volume specifically to listen.
Well, I turned the track sound volume down for cross car because it's a bit loud.
Yeah. Your soft ears, yeah?
Hurts my ears.
The worst. I used to do this all the time. Oh, hang on, double wave yellow. Somebody's parked it. It's just the side of the track, wasn't it? Come on, that's a bit over the top. Everything's fine. You used to turn the volume up, didn't you, for electric cars, and then turn it down again for internal combustion. Then you'd forget to do it and come back in. Like, good problems to have, though. We know how much you lot enjoy noise. Any more questions, Hal?
No, not really.
No. Oh, you were talking about venues. Did we ever finish talking about venues?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
This. We did finish it. So what was the conclusion? The requirements of modern rallycross are different.
Yeah, they are very different these days, aren't they? The infrastructure required is much bigger, and yes, some of the new venues aren't to everyone's taste, but
the thing is, you can look at the sport. Of course, I love Linden Hill. It's an hour from my house. I get it. I totally get it. But I didn't hate Silverstone. Silverstone needed a big grass bank across the bottom in front of the jump so people could walk around the track.
I would have liked the high-speed corner at Silverstone on the gravel, but you could have done that with time as well.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a crying shame that circuit no longer exists because, especially in the UK, we need more rallycross tracks. And,
yeah, so even if you didn't want your favourite series to go there, at least the British Championship had another round, didn't it? I don't know, where else? Okay, America's a
Someone asks, why don't they just use Supernational for open two-wheel drives? Because there's not really enough Supernational cars left. If you look at the Swedish Championship, it's really struggling at the moment, and Norway's moving to an open two-wheel drive spec, certainly in the top class. They're allowing turbochargers now, but the sport's just transitioning in a bit, and you know the classic 3.2 Volvo naturally aspirated engine is not quite as used. People like using the rotary engine in Finland. The Supernational class in Finland is very different to Supernational in Scandinavia, in Sweden and Norway.
Checker flags out for Vennerlein, and what's it going to be? Come on now, Thomas Vennerlein at 324.6. Ooh, that would have smashed the first session, and we know the track conditions are very different, but that would have absolutely smashed the first session to bits, Hal, by 6 seconds.
I think the track's in much better shape than it was for Q1 of
Yeah, but don't forget it was totally groomed. No, it wasn't totally groomed, it was half groomed. Is that worse than it is now then, maybe? After the big groom at lunch, is it in better condition? Right, I was just saying, so, okay, what do you do if you want to take rallycross to another country, for instance? So, if the Americans still want to do rallycross, obviously there are no traditional tracks, so you have to build stuff. Now, some of them, I'll be honest, I thought were terrible, and some of them I thought were brilliant. Phoenix was brilliant. But, you know, in Europe, it's, I don't know, it's tricky. What do you do? You just say we're never, ever going to any new circuits?
Yeah, and if you look at Kovala, that's not far from here, an epic old school track, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I love Kymiring. I love Kymiring, but with the transition of technologies and how good engine management is, critically how good suspension is. It's actually become a relatively mundane track because it's near impossible to overtake at World Championship level, for example. Remember we went there in 2020. If it hadn't been for the rain, it would have been basically impossible because the cars are so good. We've just been asked to look at something on the broadcast.
Oh, where are they? Where are they? Oh, we were talking and we didn't see the flames, I think. What else? Oh, you can modify circuits.
Oh dear, the recovery vehicle is stuck in the loose.
Can we get a recovery for the recovery vehicle? Oh yeah, the Jeep's stuck. Go on, have it. Go on, go on, go on. It's moving. Don't stop if it's moving. Right, bang it in first. Stick the diff lock in. Let's go. Bit of forwards, bit of backwards. Come on, steering lock on. Try, mate. Now you dug the rear right in. Get the diff lock on. Bang it into second gear. Go forward. Let's go.
Miko.
Sorry, he's going. Too. I'll walk back. I'm walking back. Don't worry about it.
Not asked at all.
Oh, come on, man. It's a Jeep. There's a come on. Right, Hal, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to go and sort this recovery out. Give us 5. We'll have that out of there. Yes!
The threat of you getting involved doesn't mean it's leapt out of the gravel.
Didn't want me driving their car, look. It was out in a jiffy. Done. Right, now what's he going to do? Go and get a truck. Come on.
Or a long rope. Oh, it was a replay.
I love that. That's brilliant. Venalainen 324.6. We've still got one race to come in open two-wheel drive. So let's do that in a moment, and let's see whether or not anyone can match Venalainen's pace. Oi, oi.
Someone says many of the older original tracks for small cars, and these cars are just too big and too powerful. I'd agree with that. They're just too good. Kymiring being the prime example. We will get into that before we watch this recovery scenario. Take the very latest World Championship spec supercars, RX1 as they're known now, open four-wheel drive as they would be here. It's very difficult to overtake because the cars are so similar. You see so few driver mistakes, really, at the top level, and
dampers are good. They don't make the mistakes in the bumps. Like everything's.
If you talk to a Kenneth Hansen or a Per Eklund or Tommy Christopherson, they talk about driving with. Yeah, you may as well have stuck a bit of box section in the wheel to hold the wheel on rather than a damper, because they didn't do a lot. And I've been in a privileged position to have driven a huge amount of different cars now. Supercars, supernational cars, all sorts of things for work, and which of course is an incredible.
It's a good job.
It's an incredible opportunity, and I'm incredibly lucky. But it gives you a reasonable idea on where that transition has been. And a modern car, I would put anyone who can operate a car in a modern supercar, and I promise you, as soon as they could get on top of the clutch, they could drive it. They could then, if they were a good driver, they could drive to 80%. I have absolutely no doubt about that. It's the incremental differences you make in the last 20%, in the last 10%, and then when you're Johan Kristoffersson or Timmy Hansen, you're in the last 2%.
Yeah.
But my point is, the cars to operate, I promise you the majority of people couldn't get in a Group B car and pull away and drive away in it, because the clutch is like a toggle switch, you need loads of revs, it's got
the cars were pigs to drive, I think.
But that's what I mean, but even just operating it, driving it around a car park is basically impossible. So I think that the window that modern cars operate in mean that they're much easier to race at a high level. It doesn't mean they're easier to succeed in, but that makes the racing much more difficult. And as some of the comments say, they're much bigger and more powerful now as well.
Yeah. Right, last race open two-wheel drive. Then we've got a couple of great guests in the studio, so stay with us. Johansson versus time on the inside line. Gabrielsen, Ikonen, Jensen. In the middle, Gabrielsen's got a great start, a little starlet, but it's here where Johansson starts to drive away. Only just gets to turn one first. Johansson to the apex side, the inside. The tiny little starlet versus the massive BMW E30. The starlet gets one in the door for the right-hand side, but Victor Johansson holds on with the whole shot in the Big Merc. I've noticed he start calling it the Big Merc on social media as well now. He knows the score. The most unlikely rallycross car, and yet here he is again leading. He won Q1, and he gets the whole shot here in Q2.
Tiger was worried in the studio at the end of Q1 that he was going to get mugged off the line, and he absolutely did, didn't he? Really struggling with the BMW E30 M3. Johansson, though, despite his limitations that he was talking about with the ride height and the front splitter, doing a great job out front. Gabrielson had a torrid weekend, didn't he, in Riga with the Starlet, but there's some very interesting tech on that car. Maybe I'll go and try and do something on my social if we don't have any time to do anything on the RallyX accounts on that, but that's a great little package. Putting some pressure on Johansson, but Johansson easily the quickest on the opening lap.
I love the difference between Gabrielson's Starlet and Johansson's Mercedes L. It's so ludicrous that both cars would work so well, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Just ludicrous. You'd like to think that with Gabrielson's car, you'd get away with, you know, when the track gets a groove, a small car, you'd think about the Subarus in Rallycross, how they always used to struggle and the Hondas, if there was a groove, because if they got too sideways, they'd lose too much time. I can't quite get my head around how Tiger and Johansson have dominated for so long.
Yeah, remarkable, isn't it? Consistency is king, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they do all the rounds.
But why if somebody hasn't come along with a smaller car and gone, you know what, I'll have some of that?
That potentially does, doesn't it? I think we saw Jason Bleasdale do a great job in the first couple of rounds about the experience. I do think
why don't they come up here? Jason,
a long way and expensive,
yeah,
and they've got a lot going on.
I do get it, yeah.
They'll be back later in the year. Oh, a problem for Ikonen. I think he broke something out of the hairpin, was all over the place. It's got collected by Tiger. We just saw in the corner of the shot there. Tiger's lost the front bumper.
So Victor Johansson is chasing down the time. He's doing 1:05, so I must admit I didn't notice what lap times Venäläinen was doing. Did you have any note how long Venäläinen's lap times? No. Johansson over the jump.
Someone asks, how do you have any clue where Jos Kuiper's Ford Fiesta Mark 7 went? Which one do you mean? I think if it's Tiger's the one you think I mean, as where Simon Tiger's coming out of the car, Kuiper's Fiesta Mark 7 turned into Patrick Van Mecklen's Ford Fiesta and was then stripped. I think Compals owned it briefly, then bought by Ollie O'Donovan, who drove it for quite a while, and is now Patrick O'Donovan's multiple title-winning British Championship car. So, but Kuiper's built a lot of cars, and if that's the one you mean, then that's what it did.
I love that, and if it's not, please ask him again, because he'll certainly know. I do love how his knowledge is unmatched, it really is. Johansson comes on to the start-finish straight. I think he might miss out here. So I think Venäläinen's going to take the session. If so, that's very impressive indeed. And it is indeed a 3:27.6. So Tuomas Venäläinen, the Finnish driver, has won the second qualifying session for Open two-wheel drive, which
fantastic.
Is very impressive indeed. Yeah, just what we were talking about with smaller cars, doing a good job. Go on, Hal.
I really want to see the replay here, Andrew, of, before we move over to the sofas, of what happened to Ikonen, because unusual for that car to be in that position, and hopefully it's in the replay package.
Well, I think we'll have a look while we're walking, shall we? Let's turn that.
Is that an instruction?
Yeah,
don't squash my sunglasses, they're expensive.
Which glasses?
Sunglasses.
Sorry, mate. Okay, right. Should we see if we move the desk while we're still on air, or is that really dangerous, do you think?
We'll give it a go.
We've got a stick mic over there.
Yeah, they're on the, yeah, I know where they are. Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's move this. Okay, have a look at the replays. We're actually moving the desk while we're talking here. This is the ultimate in multitasking. And I've often been told that blokes can't do two things at once, but we're about to prove everybody wrong with that.
I'm just watching it. Hang on.
Hal's watching the replays. We're moving the studio. Jake, I'm going to give you this headset. That one there.
Oh, it's broken. Something's happened in the rear.
There we go. I've got program back. Can you hear us in Stockholm? Kala, anybody? Yes. Perfect. Let's take a look at the intermediate standings. Victor Johansson with a session win and a P2. Tuomas Venäläinen is in second place. Gabrielson Jensen, Tiger down in P5. Ikonen Jensen, Hammer Ikonen, the other Ikonen, and Sari. Take a deep breath, folks, and welcome to the studio. Hold on just a minute. Are we in the studio? Where's my monitor? There it is. Come on. They're coming to the studio now. So you're familiar with myself and Hal Ridge. There's a couple of people. We have some legendary people in the paddock that you probably won't realise are here. One of them is this man, Buddy Rice. Buddy, good to see you, mate. 2004 Indianapolis 500 winner and also winner of the Daytona 24 Hours. This man has a lot of pedigree, and he's brought with him Jake Walker. Jake.
Hi.
Good to meet you, mate. Great, thank you. Jake is brand new to Rallycross. Jake, excuse me, buddy, for a moment. We'll get Jake to introduce himself. So obviously our viewers at home are hardcore Rallycross viewers. You've been racing GT over in the States. So tell us what you do at the minute over stateside.
Yeah, I drive the BMW M4 GT3 car for Turner Motorsport with Lick Lamali. We're the number 96. I compete personally in the VP Challenge Series and then in the WeatherTech Endurance Series with Patrick Gallagher and Robbie Foley. And it's an awesome team, an awesome experience. I learned so much from them. I can't thank them enough.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we'll talk about why you're here in a minute. Buddy, I'm assuming you're the reason he's here.
For sure.
So come on then, what happened? Oh, hang on. Whoa, hang on a minute. We might have to go again there. Okay, now we're good.
Good now? We're live?
Go, yeah,
right.
Sorry, buddy.
All
okay,
good.
so yeah, buddy, go again. Part of the training program.
Yeah, I think it's really good for the training program. If you looked over the years, with my experience, all the other experience, if you looked at the really good drivers, AJ Foy, Parnelli Jones, what Mario Andretti, all those guys have done. They have big disciplines, right? They drive in all different types of discipline. They've done good. Jimmy Johnson, probably of late. Tony Stewart. They do the midgets, they do the off-road, they do, now Tony doing drag racing, they also do IndyCar, they do NASCAR, and I think the more diverse you are, the more tools you have in your toolbox, the better of a driver you are, the more rounded you are, and it helps you in all disciplines. So we come to do stuff like this to really get the kids out of their comfort zone, try something totally new, and let them kind of learn on their own. I mean, obviously, ideally, we would like to do some testing before we got here, but we didn't have that opportunity. But this is just great to throw them in, see how they react, see how they develop, and then take that, and we'll go back and apply that when we go back to the States.
The list of names there, Hal, for a start, that Buddy is dropping with great credibility. It's brilliant to hear about what they do. I'm fascinated by the guys in NASCAR who go dirt oval racing on a Wednesday night. They're busy enough already, but it makes a difference.
Yeah, and I think the walking, talking version we have of that in Rallycross is Johan Kristoffersson, who does Porsche Carrera Cup racing, who drives in Swedish Touring Car, Rallycross, Rally Sweden, does all of those different disciplines, and clearly that is only adding to your skill set. Jake, this morning we were talking to your teammate this weekend, Simon Olofsson, who said his favourite moment of the weekend so far was you returning after you did your first jump. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I can't stop smiling when I get out of the car. It's such a unique experience, and I can already see how this is going to help me in the GT3 car and anything else I drive. And I'm super grateful to have Buddy Rice with me and Simon for their input and their advice. And it's just a totally different style of racing. Everybody's on the ragged edge. It's super gnarly. It's a blast.
That over-the-limit car control is so important, isn't it? I'm often staggered when you see a single-seater racer lose it, and you're like, how have you lost that? That's barely a moment. In Rallycross, that's 3/4 of the lap, and you say, oh no, I've dropped it. But that over-the-limit car control, what's it like for you?
It's different. I mean, the pavement is similar, but then once you go to the dirt, it's you're catching the car, it's right on the edge, it's sliding, you're learning how to pivot it, not over brake it, not over slow it, how to get yourself out of ruts in the gas. It's different.
You're often working with the car, aren't you? Rather than picking your braking point and where you would traditionally turn in, you've got to let the car move around underneath you. And I think from what we've seen so far, you won your first race. You've done incredibly well as a debutant here, because it's not easy to get into that loose surface driving when you're not experienced in it.
Yeah, and I mean the surface keeps changing too. We don't have we have the temperatures change and more rubber gets put down and things like that in the GT racing, but not big ruts and big mounds, and you have to work your way around it. And my second practice out, I went to do my normal line, and I got the tires stuck a little bit, and I had to get myself out, and then I made some adjustments, and it's really cool.
The track's different every single lap,
Yes.
every single lap, and I think that's such a brilliant learning tool. Buddy, when are we going to get you in a car, mate? Because that's what everybody wants. So you've been knocking around in the background of the Nitrocross paddock, and people are like, that's Buddy Rice over there. I'm like, yeah, I know. We were I know Eric sort of planted the seed earlier this year. Would you do one for fun? No expectation.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might do one down the road. I did X Games back with Markland.
Yeah.
In Brazil. That was a blast. I had so much fun.
Was that Iguaya Falls it was near,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
exactly. Yeah. All dirt track all the way around, except for the starting pad. But, I'd done testing with some of the other stuff, and I really like it. I mean, it's probably one of the coolest cars I've driven. It's not the fastest, obviously, but it's so quick from zero up to what you got to do and how fast you have to react. With a lot of the cars and the way things are today, you don't drive on attack mode all the time. I know it seems like that probably watching a lot of the racing, but these guys are driving either whether it's you got fuel economy, you got some tire stuff going on, there's other situations going on with within the series. But like back the old school like 90s era Indy car coming into 2000, the harder you drove, the faster, the better. And that's what, Rallycross is about. And I think that's like one of the coolest things. And that's what I really like coming here. It's like you just turn the kids loose, you let everybody go, and you just have at it. And you never know what's going to happen. Like you said, the track's changing all the time, right? There's a little rubbing, a little bit of old school racing. And everybody kind of like is real respectful, but they know it's going to get a little heated at times. And as the day progresses, we get closer and closer to the final. You can just see everything the pressure starts rising and everything starts happening. It's cool. That's what I like doing. I mean, ever since it came to the States, 8 years ago or whatever, the first time it happened with GRC, I've been there since that started, and I haven't left. And so I've been around, and then I started doing some of the Nordic stuff, and now here we are.
So you're running out of excuses, really. Denmark, Germany?
I have a lot on my plate this year, but I think at some point we'll probably end up doing something. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that would be great. We'd absolutely love that.
It'd be fun, that's for sure.
I've never seen anyone, regardless of where they've come from, Formula One, Le Mans, NASCAR, get out of a top-level rallycross car like an FC2 or a supercar and not have a massive smile on their face because they're just so fun to drive, aren't they? They're very rewarding, even if you're not chasing lap time. It's an immersive experience, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so much going on. It's all-wheel drive. I mean, they make tons of noise. You got flame, you got stuff going on, and I just think the whole situation, the whole show is just awesome. I think it's great. And I think it goes back to the old school way of you have to be thinking on your feet. You have to be super quick. You have to be aggressive. But at the same time, you kind of got to be smart there. You have the Joker lap that throws a little wrinkle into it too, and you never know what's going to happen. So I think there's always that you're unsure what's going to actually happen. I mean, obviously there's some guys that dominate, but we have that everywhere. But it's great to come here and be a part of it.
I think learning the headspace you need for things like Joker strategy. Obviously, you guys have a lot of strategy in GT racing as regard who's in the car, pit stops, all the rest of it. How long you're going to run for on a stint. But this is a bit. Yeah, like I'm sure your spotter said to you that sometimes we'll tell you to go, and other times we're like, yeah, you got an option. You're like, well, do I go or not? Like, right. It's been quite wild, has it?
It's crazy. Right out of the gate, buddy said Joker lap. I went up, came down, noticed I had a pretty big gap, but then once everything kind of filtered out, I'm like, oh, I'm still in this.
I get it.
Yeah, it was really, really unique, just kind of like moment where you have the realization of, oh, I'm not that far behind.
No, and that's the thing. I think sometimes because you drop out in the Joker and you lose touch with the traffic, and you can really, when you get into it, you start playing mind games with people. So you drop out deliberately so they can't see you in the mirrors, and then they're thinking about you more when they can't see you in the mirrors because they're worried about what lap time you're doing before they smash their Joker in on the next one. So it's good fun, man. Will you do some more, maybe?
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is awesome. I love this so much. Like, it's just such a blast, and the people here and how enthusiastic everyone is, and it's nothing else is like this.
Mate,
cool.
It's a pleasure to have you in the series. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Buddy as well, thanks, mate. I know you're around the paddock. Come join us. Either of you, come join us anytime. If you're passing the announcing booth and we're on air, you guys are always welcome.
Yeah, I know. And man, one of the coolest things was Holiest. Back when we ran a couple years ago when it was like the big hit, man, that place rocks. It's cool.
So good.
It's so much fun.
I love it. It's wild. It's just an event like no other, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's one of the big ones. I mean, you got the Indy 500 in Daytona, Talladega, you got Le Mans, you got some big spots. Like, the street races at home are really exciting. That's what it reminds me of. It's like going to St. Petersburg or Long Beach, Toronto. It's got the same vibe. All the people, everybody's there. They camp out the whole week. It's awesome.
It's a party around the event,
totally.
Isn't it? I always think, if you said in Rallycross terms, obviously we're not going to Hollis this year with RallyX, but if you go in Rallycross terms, you're like, yeah, Monaco, you say Indy 500, Le Mans 24. That's the big three, isn't it? It's like, yeah. and holiest.
For sure.
Like, you know.
And people know when you bring it up. If you're into rallycross or any kind of rally, you know that that's where it's at.
But,
so
we do have a great anecdote about Holius as well. We were in Arvika for a RallyX round a few years ago. We were talking about it last night, actually, because it was combined with a Swedish championship. We actually had a heat a day, so it was a really drawn-out weekend, and we inevitably ended up in the bar on the waterfront quite a lot because there was not a lot going on. And we got talking to these people, and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" We're like, "Oh, we're here for Rallycross."
And the circuit was 2 kilometres away.
They had no idea what that was. And I was like, talking more about it. "Oh, we go to Holius." "Oh, yeah, we go to Holius."
So
"Where? First weekend of July?" Yeah, that's when we go. "Yeah, for the Rallycross."
No.
idea, because they're too busy partying in the woods.
That's exactly it. Like, we always used to joke. They were like, "It's 30,000 people here this week." It's like, yeah, but I think only 5,000 are here for the race. The other 25,000 are having a carnage.
Totally.
Lash up.
I mean, you come down the dirt road, it's just lined with cars on both sides. The more you look, you just see the sea of all the RVs and stuff.
And then you leave on Sunday night, and some of them are still there, and they've been deserted. You're like, you only bought this.
Some people are still sleeping on the side of the road.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I can't remember what time we're back on. Maybe Calla can tell me. Calla? 4:30. There you go. We're back on at 4:30. So come
on
back
this
then
stream.
for on this stream. Yeah. So they're just having a quick tidy up on the track, and we'll get the 4-wheel drives out there. Cheers, guys. In a bit. All right, let's finish off Q2, shall we? Welcome back if you are still with us. It feels a little bit like watching the 24 Hours of Le Mans, doesn't it? Although it's only been 6 hours. Hopefully the recoveries will be a little bit quicker at Le Mans. That'll help speed things up, and they definitely won't have to fill in the holes in between sessions. How many bites do you have? Because I'm itching. Yeah, man, I've been eating. These are some thirsty bugs.
Many.
So here's something fun for you. I think you'll appreciate this, Hal. I was looking at, actually, I think we're going to go racing, aren't we? I was looking at reviews of a local restaurant. A lot of the reviews are from Finnish people. They give it 5 stars and then their comments are just, okay. Which I love. Two-wheel drive, have we done that?
Yes.
What is this?
Lights.
Thanks, mate. Of Q2, yeah? I feel like we're on about Q7. Does anybody at home feel like they're on Q7? Do let us know in the comments, because that's what I feel like. What are we doing here? Four-wheel drive. Oh dear, some people have just run away. What's caught fire? Literally everyone's just run out the back of the studio. How? So I'm just going to have a look and see if something bad happened. They're all running to nowhere. They seem to be running to the grid. Okay, well, they've left us to it. Me and Hal are the only 2 people now in the entire team here, which is a bit wild. Mounier, Larsen, Norlander, Oscarson and Cake in this one. Oh, Norlander's putting a little, Larsen is putting a little squeeze on the inside. Norlander coming through the middle of the grid. So if I were P4 now, that's exactly what I'd be looking to do, is duck up the inside. Norlander's gone wide, Oscarson's gone all the way up the inside and gone P4 to P2. That's what I was thinking in the background. If you've lost the start, you might as well tuck in.
Problem for Norlander to pull off to the side there, being passed by Cake in the back. Oh no, not yet passed by Cake in the background. Up front though, there is Norlander still going. Larsen doing a great job, massively late on the brakes into turn 2. We got it stopped. Pontus Oscarsson, who did such a good job in Riga, but a little bit under the radar because we got red flag.
Okay, so I reckon that's why everybody went running to the start, but I might be wrong. I think there was an issue before they went. Okay, there we go. We'll try and find out what on earth is going on. Everybody ran out of the back of this tent very quickly, about 5 seconds before that start. So, yeah, something's occurred. Hal is going out to find out. I'll entertain you. Maybe I can have a look through the YouTube comments, which is something I don't normally do, but I'll have a look. Okay, there's nothing wrong. Apparently, we're hearing from race control. It was a false red flag, unfortunately. So maybe something, a safety issue they thought they had, but they don't have. So they're going to go and stack them up again at the grid, which, to be honest, isn't a bad thing because nobody had any issues in that start or anything. Right. A Legends class, yes, we'd love that. What else have we got? I'm having a look through here. It'd be fun if Citroen and Saab came back to RallyCross. Yes, it would. Having to work with the track. Yes, it does. I'm going back through a few. Yes, the Jeep got stuck. Agreed. Yes, that's what have I missed? I've been at work all day. Lots. What else have we got in here? Let's do a 24 hours of RallyX. Yes, audio's a bit glitchy. I'll tell them. I will tell them. Right, we're going racing again. If the audio is glitchy for you guys at home, please let us know exactly what it is and put in the comments what's glitchy, because so we don't have any issues at this end. So Mounier, Larsen, Norlander, Oscarsson and Cake go again after that false red flag, or Oscarsson gets straight into the door of Cake, or maybe the other way round. Cake might have got in the rear quarter. That's going to hinder Oscarsson. Oscarsson was in this position last time, went from the outside to the inside, does the same again, though locks the front right and is not as close this time. Mounier looks inside, gets it tight on the apex, almost gets into P1 there, but it is Larsen who holds on to P1.
Remarkably, a pretty similar outcome, even though it's 2 starts, as Oscarsson runs wide into the bank on the outside. Look how wet the track is. Cake much closer to the pack than she was last time around. Larsen under some pressure from Mounier. up front, but it was Meunier behind Oscarson at start number 1.
Meunier, I noticed, is still running the Race of Champions bodywork, but with some of the branding removed, Hal. Wasn't that what he ran last time and then smashed a bit of it off, didn't he?
In Riga,
Latvia, so I assume he's had to buy it. Now owned.
He was always using that car.
Yeah, but
once it came
just
back.
Yes, yeah, but I meant the...
Larson just nudged the tyres there and rotated the car, but it stays in the throttle. Meunier looks to the outside, now we're through. Why are people calling you a legend? What did you say?
I don't know, to be honest. I looked through the comments.
What was the red flag for?
Got confused. It was a false red flag.
Right.
So that's what we had from Race Control. They were like, sorry, there was no issue. It was a mistake. Mistake wasn't the word they used. They used 2 other words, which...
Was the second one up?
Yes. Which mean mistake.
And Peter and Adrian ran out because there was a
Fire?
nondescript drone up in the air, which is now, I think, in some trees
Been shot
on
down.
the ground.
Oh, really? Brilliant.
No, I don't know if that's how it was
Somebody
removed.
set the legal drone up. Comments. They were saying about a Legends thing. I said, yes, we should do it. Somebody said they'd missed. What have they missed? I said, loads.
There is a Legends event.
Huh?
RallyX Legends.
Yeah, no, but they want to do more. They want a Legends class in RallyX. So does Hal.
No, I don't think so. I think the old cars are too difficult to run, too expensive, and they should be saved for special occasions.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you now? Well, we want your car here now. Go and get it.
Okay. I'll just pop back tomorrow. Commentary sounds like a robot, definitely a different problem than before. Okay, I'll
we'll
feed that
tell
back.
the audio guy who's not here. He also went out because of the drone. So we'll try and fix that for you.
They're
Meanwhile,
on it in Stockholm,
we're
where
on it.
This remote broadcast works. Kalle Drakenbach, the producer, working very hard. Everyone's calling you a legend. I don't really know why.
Well, neither do I. Somebody tell me why I'm a legend. I'll take it, obviously.
But as a general rule, and at this specific moment, I'm totally confused.
It feels, like I said, going into Q7 here. There was a bit of a joke around the Isle of Man TT because it's such a long event. People were starting to put it day 3,541 on the Isle of Man.
I think Meunier might have a left rear puncture, or certainly maybe a problem with the
bummer.
damper, or it was just deep in the gravel. But it looks very loaded up. Meunier onto the standard lap. He could be about to win this race and prove me completely wrong.
Go on, Meunier. Just prove how wrong, just for a laugh. Meunier comes around the final corner.
Larsen's going to have a good run.
Larsen is going to have a good run, but Meunier's going to get there first. Hal Ridge is wrong as
Well,
Meunier
he might
comes
have a
over the
problem
line
and win.
and takes the win. Lovely job by Meunier.
Yeah, great run, but he could still have a problem.
Why am I a legend? How has anybody replied? Or they're just talking about Honda Legends, the race series. Do you remember them?
Someone says hello from Uruguay. Hello.
Hey. Oi.
A lot of people saying the commentary volume is all good to them, and I'm hearing from our producer Kalle that they can't detect a problem either.
Wow.
Back at base, so maybe
it's your internet.
Maybe
it's your internet.
Oh, someone says Hal, you're a legend too. I'm afraid you are also wrong.
Hal is a legend.
I competed. I drove in a Legends event.
Yes, that makes you a legend.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
It doesn't.
Hal
Because
went
that
to
makes
RallyX Legends after getting no sleep and ignoring his family for a month, and he went to RallyX Legends, and his son was there to watch him.
Yeah, that was cool.
How cool is
but
that?
Fortunately, my family don't watch RallyX at least, because they're sick of me anyway, so they will never hear anything.
I have a similar situation with my wife, who enjoys Rallycross when she's here, but definitely wouldn't spend all day listening to me. Absolutely not. Apparently, I never listened to her either, Hal. You get told that.
Sorry?
You never listened to me. That's right. You never listened to me. Wives, just generally.
I was joking.
What are they doing? Who's the drone driver?
This is Peter Hellman, the championship manager on the left.
Illegal drone. Which one was it? Is it the man with the orange jacket? Oh, he's got an illegal drone. Oh, Peter's waving his hands around a bit. Illegal jacket. Illegal drone. What the hell am I talking about? This is Vigo. This is Vigo chasing the illegal drone. That's brilliant. Go on, Vigo. That's absolutely brilliant. Oh, it's amazing. It's
there's some risk involved in chasing a drone, isn't there?
Look at this, Hal. Brilliant. So Vigo's got a full competition spec drone. There's a DJI out there. He's like, brr, brr, brr. It's literally, this is like, I don't know.
He should have just rammed into it.
If the final scene in Star Wars, look, that's amazing. Ah, wonderful. What is it? Han Solo says to Luke Skywalker, "You're all clear, kid. You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home." That's what we needed. We needed Vigo to do a Luke Skywalker proton torpedo launch on the other drone. Sadly, Vigo's not armed, which is a great shame, isn't it? Anderson, Vitals, Darback, Hagstrom and Darback. Vitals with the best start here, but he's not a full car length clear. Anderson will know that, go late on the brakes, but he can't carry as much pace. Vitals goes in hard, gets a bit wide, Darback spins. Vitals comes all the way back into the apex, but Anderson is there already and holds on. So fantastic job by Anderson to hold his position. Vitals tried everything, tried the very long way round, and on this occasion it did not come off.
Proper robust rallycross first corner move that from Lucas Anderson. I was trying to find the words to use, but he didn't do anything wrong. Didn't fire Vitals off, but Vitals went a bit wide, forced his way up the inside. Great move. Vitals, meanwhile, under massive pressure from the Darback that didn't spin. I don't know which one it is at the moment.
I think it's Tobias.
It's Kevin. Sure. It's Kevin in the back of Vitals. I'm
it is,
sure.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it's 3 numbers, 193. So yeah, it is Kevin. So it was Tobias.
Kevin Jokers this time around. What's Hagstrom doing in the background? To see if we can have a look back when Vigo turns the corner. There is Joker merge. It's both Darbacks that Joker on the opening tour. Tobias having lost that time, of course, with that spin.
Good tactics, I think, from them. They would maybe have chosen to Joker both on the first lap. As you say, with the problem, you would. That's the spotters in the background up on the balcony on the front of the Kymiring building.
Someone asks Nick, who I think is in Japan based on some of his comments, says, how do you have a clue where Fred Holt's C30 or Huntsman C30 went? Fred Holt's C30 is owned in the UK and is Dom Flickney's car, which hasn't been used for a little while. So yeah, that was.
Did Dom come and do Nitro?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did Nitro at Lyndon Hill, didn't he? Did he come to Sweden as well?
No. No, he didn't do the Swedish one. Just did Lyndon. So yeah, he's used that car a few times. Had a few problems with some things on it, so he was working on it. Hasn't been out for a little while, but he's keen to come back. Nothing's as cool as the S40 though. Hunspet's S40 was the one for me. I would definitely, in a different financial situation, have tried to buy that car. That left Finland recently and went back to Sweden, I believe. Yeah, that is proper old school
weapons grade
supercar. Yeah. Just cool.
Very cool. So we're going to give out at the end of this session a couple of full send medals to a couple of cross car drivers, assuming Nicholas Dubernard can go and round them up for us. I think rounding up rallycross drivers is a bit like herding cats. Not that I've ever tried that, but I imagine it's very difficult. Otherwise there wouldn't be a saying about it, would there?
Someone says the Joker reminds me of the Kymiring one. I think
South Africa.
It wasn't actually
Cape Town.
Kymiring. It was similar. It was Killarney, wasn't it?
I said Killarney.
Killarney, yes.
Killarney.
But yeah, you're 100% right. It's very similar. Not the same, obviously, but very similar. As Anderson is through that similar Joker lap for the final time, and it's another junior cross car front runner that's in there as well. Vitals, though, having taken that earlier Joker, does get to second. Lucas Anderson with a 3:39.
That's both sessions, mate.
Massively quicker than Julian Meunier, although Meunier was in that battle early on in that race with Larson.
He was 1.1 quicker than Vitals in the first round, and on this one, what is he? 2.4 quicker. So it's him and Vitals. Has Vitals beaten Meunier's time or no? Yes. Yeah, so basically Anderson and Vitals have been P1 and P2 each in those 2 sessions. Thanks from 318. Boy, there's the spin. Just always pleased nobody gets collected when it's that high speed. Here it is from another angle. Just went in hot, didn't he? Followed Vitals in, and Vitals let the car run wide. And you want the rotation, but not to that level. That's Vitals in the background riding. Oh, Vitals off the side of the track over the jump. Go on, get in.
Shamil says herding cats is easy. You just need to have food in your hand. That I think is probably very fair.
Or is it catnip? Is that the thing that they used in South Park in that brilliant episode?
Or you probably just need a crate of beer in a rallycross paddock, and you'd attract most of the people.
If you're familiar with the episode, Cartman says, "Now get in now." It's literally. Have you seen that episode, Hal? Is this going to be another? Is this
Never
going to be
really
another popular
watched South
cult?
Park.
If you're not,
No.
I'm not such a big fan of Family Guy's the thing now.
Yeah, I watch some Family Guy. Yeah.
I do like Family Guy.
I'm a Simpsons person, really.
I love The Simpsons. Yeah. Lucas Anderson, Roberts Vitals at P1, P2, Meunier's third, Hagstrom fourth. Brilliant consistency from him. Good stuff. We're about to go racing with open 4-wheel drive. And they're away from the line already. It's Fraser McConnell on the inside of your grid after his issues in the last one. Oh, McConnell gets massively squeezed out there by Martinson. And around the outside went Ulrich Linnemann, who, by the way, got a black flag for the incident in turn 1.
Well, all of these drivers had a problem from that same incident, didn't they? In Q1, and Linnemann was punished by a race director.
Well, I said that to Fraz, and he goes, I was in a different race. I was like, were you?
Oh, McConnell at the inside and Martinson in the background. Great move from the Jamaican to take the opportunity. I think Martinson might be having a bit of an issue as I stumble over my words. Doesn't seem to, though. It was just a drive out of turn 3 he seemed to struggle with, but McConnell up the inside and exactly what he needed to do to get a good race time here.
I was going to say, the issue he's got is a Jamaican, isn't it? That's the issue.
Well, he was slow out of turn 3, so I thought he had a problem with the car, but maybe he just got a bit too sideways and lost a bit of traction.
Fraz, I know, was disappointed. It was just one little broken link on the car, wasn't it? Peter was showing you a picture.
But it snapped in a weird place, didn't it?
Yeah,
so,
smack in the middle.
I suspect that's already had an impact before and then it's broken later.
Jamaican flags all the way around this venue. We have joked a number of times with them this weekend that they own more Jamaican flags than the Jamaican government. I think that's about right. They've certainly given more away. If you're at the track, come and see the McConnells. They are right up at the very far end of the pit building, close to our studio, in fact. So you can come and grab a Jamaican flag from them. I don't know, are they selling them or giving them away? I think there's nothing left on the table. They might be all gone. Linnemann leads, and the gap is 1.9. Fraser's rear bumper is hanging off a bit. What we got in the way? Actually, Hal, yes, we've got 18 cars and only 12 spots in the semi-finals. Then there will be separate finals, won't there? Potentially for Pro, Am, and FC2, just to make it extra confusing.
There will be, yeah, definitely with this entry.
Have we got enough Ams?
Yes, 100%.
No, we haven't.
For semis?
No, we've got enough. Yeah, we've got enough.
You mean for a final? Yeah,
six
we've got enough for a final.
Yeah, 6. That's what what's the lap times like? So Fraser McConnell's just gone quick as 58.5 from a 58.9 from Linnemann. What they've done to the FC2, Hal, it blows my mind that it's made that much of a difference. Or is it also down to track conditions?
Definitely, because as Linnemann was explaining, you don't need all the power here, do you?
So you can't exploit the benefits of the supercar.
I think so, yeah. And where they've made the gains in the FC2 in the gear change, which will inevitably help the acceleration, is perfect for the start line performance. So I think it's a
bit of both.
Yeah, perfect storm really.
Track's looking in good nick after the work they've done. It's, as a little update for you, we are hoping to get Crosscar and Crosscar Junior away this afternoon for Q3, which will give us a head start on tomorrow. That is the plan.
I think that's very possible.
Victor's walking past us with a mug. Is tea, coffee, whiskey? Huh? No tea for me. He's got a mug with Victor on it. And the Moomins. The Moomins are on Victor's mug. Yes, Victor.
Linnemann drives to the line and does a 3:06.8. That compared to earlier, as I rifle through the paper looking for supercar, open four-wheel drive.
3:07.8 is what you're looking for. Casper Janssen would have been P2 in Q1.
I don't even have that sheet. So
I printed it all for you. It's even in order, Hal. Look at this from Fraser. Really squeezed, just backed out of it in time to avoid the tyre bail. And he passed you on lap 1, didn't he, after the jump? We're not going to see that, obviously. Fair go. That's the bit there that's coming up on the exit. Keep those. Look at the dirt flying up at the drone as well. Linnemann over the line for the checker. Family Guy, Hal, the episode where they fake your man's death. What's his name? Giggity.
Well, I haven't seen that one.
Giggity. Yeah, who's your man? Giggity. Who's this Giggity? Glenn. Yeah, I've looked at that. Racing, what are you talking about? Giggity.
Just looking at the van on the back of the grid.
Quagmire, that's it. Glenn Quagmire. Why can I not remember Quagmire's name? He fakes his own death because he's married someone he doesn't like, so they pretend he's been eaten by a dinosaur in a park after being killed by a pots and pans robot and an alien or something. It's a very good episode. Google it. Google it. That's why the van is there. The van is there to remove Torren from the back of the grid.
That's the second DNF of the day.
Right, Pentonen, Jake Walker, who we met earlier, Maiko Tam and Marcis Martinovs. Great start by Maiko Tam. We'd expect that Tam through the class of this one. We get keep one eye on Jake Walker as well. See how he's getting on. Big old moment from Passy Penton. I think might have forgotten there. He's not in the cross car in this one. He's in the supercar. Oh, and he makes a mistake. Jake Walker's right behind him, but it's not enough of a mistake to open the door. I'm fascinated, Hal, by coming here as a GT driver for your first ever experience of rallycross in Finland. It's cool, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We were talking to Buddy Rice, weren't we, in the studio with him a little earlier on. If you haven't seen that part of the stream, Buddy and Jake were great, weren't they, to chat to, and it'd be well worth going back to watch that.
Agree.
Buddy Rice, who we were trying to persuade to get in the FC2 later this year, who didn't seem that convinced, but he's definitely
I've got a
tempted.
busy schedule. What a busy schedule being here at the rallycross venue. Like, get in the car, buddy. He knows the drill.
But he did say that he was Anton Marklin's teammate in X Games Brazil 2013, which in fact was an event won by the car that Passy Penton's driving in Scott Speed's hands. That was Scott Speed's first ever rallycross event, and he won there down in Brazil. That Fiesta actually is chassis 11 and I think has done the least work of any overseas Fiesta ever, because it's changed hands a lot of time. It was a star car in the US for a while, didn't get used very much. So yeah, I actually think it's...
Penton, as you say that, how Penton's pulled off to the side of the road.
Commentators, because that's
so you've killed the chassis that's done no work.
So I actually think it's only ever raced in 30. This is its 30th ever race weekend and 35th round. So yeah, it's done very little compared to some of the workhorses like Derek Toyo's Fiesta chassis 14 that has done every single event for the history of time. And yeah, it's not the car it started as.
So Jake Walker in P3 at the moment. Here he is, the American GT driver who said just every single lap is different, and I'm absolutely loving it. Thoroughly enjoying his time alongside Simon Olafsson. I'm guessing they're able to look at the data and compare some stuff there as we fly just above Maiko Tam.
And that experience could really help Simon as well, because with no disrespect, some of the teammates he's had so far this year, they haven't necessarily had loads of experience. Lane Vakela, who does have good supercar lights experience, drove in Portugal, and then Victor Christensen drove as his first ever event in like a supercar test, and had this one supercar before, but that was a bit different. But so drivers at this level, now we know Jake doesn't drive this level in rallycross, but he is clearly very, very capable in the GT3 car, so he'll have relevant knowledge that he can transfer to Simon. I think this is probably a really good opportunity for Simon Olafsson to learn from not only from someone experienced in racing, but someone with a different view. And it often works that you get a bit set in your ways in how to set a car up or how to approach a particular corner. Sometimes you need someone from a totally different sphere to come in and approach the discipline in a different way.
What about having Buddy Rice as well? I just love the fact that we got that man. Some of the stories you told after we went on off air were good as well. So honestly, do go back if you've got 5 minutes and just listen to the bit with Buddy Rice and Jake Walker at the end of the last session, I think, Hal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So is it in this stream? Yes,
it is.
It is. Yeah, it's in the Q2 stream, but you have to go back a bit. Checker flag has fallen. Maiko Tam has taken it with a 310.2. So Linneman still leads on a 306.8. Fraser McConnell has joined us in the commentary box. Fraz, what is going on?
Not too displeased with it. It felt like I was under power. The car didn't have the power it felt like earlier this morning. So
you had a hell of a lap time though.
It felt all right, but engineers are going to check it out.
Yeah, the fastest lap of the race. What was? Can you remember, Hal? It was a Butte, wasn't it?
No, I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Still the first loser.
Well, there is that, mate. There is that. Are you still... where's Maiko Tam? 310. Yeah, he's behind you, mate. Well, you're still the first loser at the minute. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, there you go.
So right now I'm last.
Yeah. Nothing like a bit of pessimism is there to get your day going. Good stuff, mate. This is Penton, who's parked the OMSC Fiesta at the side of the road. That doesn't look ideal with that smoke coming out of the exhaust. So, Fraz, what's the plan now? You guys are done for the day, aren't you?
That's it, done for the day. So I'm stuck in the booth with you guys for the next 2 races, unfortunately.
Sorry about that. It's a bummer, isn't it? Hey, it's a bummer.
I joke. I love
the company's terrible, I know.
New track.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think? I know we spoke to you this morning in our little preview bit, but what are you thinking?
The layout is incredible.
I like it too. Turn 1, I think, is mega. I think there's loads of opportunities in Turn 1 for people running deep, getting over-rotated.
Yeah, and I mean, even saw in my first race, it got a nice undercut. Turn 2 didn't end out so good because, you know, broke the tolling. But, you know, when you have these wide corners, it gives opportunity for, you know, over and unders, bunch of different strategy rather than just a single line, everybody following each other.
They're going to leave that car there. We're hearing from race control. Sorry, Fraz, to interrupt. Okay, let's get this shot on the road. Tommy Hammer, Simon Olofsson, Ollie Eriksson, Jari Turi and Mikko Ikonen. Great start by Turi. Equally good start on the inside by Tommy Howman. They're all being outdragged by Ikonen on the outside in the Hyundai. Ikonen goes all the way, a long way around. Ollie gets turned around halfway, but just holds on. Down into turn 2, and you can see Howman moved across to shut the door, and Howman holds on to second place. Ollie did well to hang on to that in first corner.
Another good start from Turi. Gets a bit sideways on the run into 3, but Mikko Ikonen, what a run he had around the outside. Turi looks to the inside of Howman, but absolutely not close enough to have a proper look. And here we're going to see Tommy Howman, who is one of the class of the field in the FC2 drivers, taking on one of the best supercars ever built in the hands of Mikko Ikonen.
I wonder, is Joker now, Fraz, for Tommy? It's only a 3-lap race. If you want to do any kind of alternate strategy, there's nobody really
I'd be
slow in
surprised
this
if
one.
Tommy doesn't Joker.
I would, yeah, and especially with
There
the
he
yes,
goes.
and with the delta being long, you could do that on lap 1, can't you? If it was a 2-second delta, you wouldn't do it.
Exactly, he had a mega reaction on the start, but then the dirt is coming over onto the start line, and he was starting in pole. So when he got to that, where the dirt comes over, he got that little loose spin loss out on the start.
Ollie's gone with him. He's come out behind Simon Olofsson, so could have done without being up behind him in the middle section. Is he going to have a look at him on the one into the second corner? Howman lines him up, just slots it up the inside. That is a brilliant bit of driving by Tommy Howman. Just
Great
tightened up
precision.
the rotation, wonderful.
Great position, opened the door on the way in, didn't he? Just had the nose there. That puts the driver off in front just a little bit, opens it that little bit more. Now Howman's right on the back. Ollie Eriksson's
through too.
windscreen is absolutely destroyed on the FC2. I wonder if we can have a look at that, please, Mr. Director, at some point. Maybe on this shot, can we look at the black and yellow car in the back and look at the windscreen on the Ollie Eriksson's car? Olofsson's isn't quite so bad.
Gravel machine gun.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, Ollie got through right behind, must have got through literally on the next corner from Tommy Howman. So they're all going standard lap. This time is Olofsson maybe going to go Joker in the background, chucks it in, beautifully done by Eriksson to get a good exit. Fraz, what are you seeing when you watch these guys? What are you looking for?
I mean, right now, it's all about picking a clean line, trying to get it dug up. They have water on the track, which is unusual for us. You know, there's some concrete places, and you know the gravel is holding the water well, but sometimes you can get a hole. You never know. It's such new territory for everyone.
Howman is right in the window here to get this off Ikonen. 3.3 behind on the fastest lap of the race so far on a 58.4. Of course, helped with that momentum he had out of the Joker, but Ollie Eriksson right on the back of Tommy now as well. Eriksson's on a flyer too. Ikonen is in danger here of getting beaten by both of those drivers in the background, but will they lose out a bit to Turi?
Turi, yeah, coming through the right now. Turi's going to go Joker here, so Howman will split off to the right-hand side. Watch for Turi, though, who'll go long and slow through the left-hand, but that's going to compromise Howman's exit to the standard lap. Goes up the top. Ikonen about to come round the right-hander. Watch for Ikonen in the supercar versus Howman. Ikonen should get a good exit here. Howman and Ollie Eriksson are absolutely nose to tail. Ikonen comes alongside. Howman on the right-hand side of your screen. Howman takes it from Ikonen just in front of Ollie Eriksson. That's why you have the merge at the finish line. Brilliant example of a good track layout. How quick is Howman as well? Was it quicker? 3:10.2? No, it's not. That is around Michael Tam's time.
Very easy for me to say from here, but I'm not really sure why Ikonen got in the brakes there over the finish line. Surely you can run the car wide towards the pit wall. We'll have to see it again.
Look at where Eriksson was after that moment in the first corner. He was absolutely flying.
Classic scenario, just having to bury the throttle in a four-wheel drive car and drag the nose straight. This is Howman's move. He's just there. Simon's turned in and then turned back out again. Run that bit deep. This is what you were talking about, Andrew, was Eriksson's just got perfectly on the line. He's going to go right round the outside. I think you can also tell a little bit there that Simon is not fully on top of his car yet as well.
I love watching Howman.
Watch Ikonen from the background.
Does he brake a little? Yes, just there.
Because Tommy kind of comes over, so, you know.
Yeah, he don't want to run into him. It's high speed.
He would have gotten a call from his spotter. It's going to be close, it's going to be close. And then you see the car in the windscreen, you're going to have to be a little careful.
Yeah, you're not going to beat him. He was beaten by the point he got on the brakes, I think is what I'm trying to say. But I do know what you mean, Hal. It was early. So, Fraz, you're still P2. How you feeling?
You know, P1 is always better, but you know, I'm having my fingers are crossed back here while you guys are commentating. Don't go faster, don't go faster.
Do you think track conditions mean it's going to be tricky to go faster?
Well, these guys have the fastest track now.
You
So-
think it's fastest?
No.
I was going to say, yeah. I was like, what are you on about?
Track evolution. So we had a wet track, but these guys are getting a dug-up track. So 6 of one, half dozen of another.
All right.
You know what that's saying?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we like that. We like that. We say the same. Right, that's it. Oh, that didn't last long.
Personally, I would choose a wet gravel track over holes.
100%. At least wet gravel is consistent compared
Yeah.
to the holes. Yeah.
And you can expect what you're going to go into.
Yeah.
So look out for this. Whoever's in P1, we start in P1 now, Casper.
Yeah.
He's gonna, if he does get an even start with these guys, he's gonna get up to where the gravel is and probably get some wheels there.
You think we'll go backwards there? So Janssen to Pynen, Franks to Seppa, and Svensson. There it is over the gravel. Casper's still on the inside, but Franks is looking hot on the way down to turn one. Seppa goes in with him. Seppa slots in up the inside of Franks. Makes a lovely pass. Franks is out wide. Got to watch out. Here goes for the bar around the outside. Up the inside goes Casper Janssen. Seppa's got it to Pynen. Franks is dropping back. Is Svensson going to get him too? No, just holds on to P4.
Franks put himself in danger there, didn't he, by trying that outside move. I think the better form of Valor would have had him back up a little bit and try and tuck in behind, because that was a brilliant opportunistic move from Seppa, wasn't it? Similar to what Hellman did on Olofsson in the previous run. Anton Seppa looks so on top of that Skoda Fabia. Look at him working away at the wheel. I would say that's one of the best R5 iterations of open four-wheel drive supercar we've seen in quite some time. Casper Janssen, though, as usual, quietly going about his business, isn't he? And he's right there as well at the moment.
Yeah, Casper, the winner of Q1, remember, from Topane, Frank, Seppa and Svensson, the guys that are in this race. Fraz was DNF, so he's down in P15, so a P2 here, mate, gets you right back in the mix.
Topane lost a bit of time on the way into the Joker, got over-rotated, just hung the rear of the car out in the loose gravel. Franks has not been in the Joker, front of the car full of dirt, having been on the loose last time around. It's a difficult position for Franks' spotter now. I would leave him out, actually, because unless he closes onto the back of Janssen, you want to try and make sure you gap Topinen and Svensson behind.
I think you had a 59.5, Fraz, and 59.4 is what Seppa's just done, so he's going quickly out front.
Is that my fastest lap?
I think so. I can't remember, mate. I'm terrible with it anyway. Yes, it was 5 minutes ago. It's gone.
He was really quick in practice, Seppa.
Yeah, he was fastest, wasn't he, in FP1? Oh, okay, right.
Hometown hero, Seppa.
Yes, exactly, mate. Although we have noticed there are more Jamaican flags here than Finnish ones. Don't worry, that's not lost. Tommy Halpin's turned up behind us, sweating like mad with his crash helmet on still, trying to figure out where he's going to be. He's currently P3 behind Fraser McConnell.
I've actually changed my mind. I think Victor should have jokered that time around. He was right into the rear of Casper, over the loose at the end of the lap, and chose to follow again. Okay, the other two might be at risk of catching behind, but he's again going to lose some time over the loose if he's got better traction. Janssen runs a bit sideways. Franks closes on the rear of him in the run up to turn 3. Again, look, Janssen sideways on the gravel. Franks looks to the outside, no way through, up the bank. Look at the state of Janssen's windscreen as well. Franks is losing time here.
I wonder how many screens they've got in the back of that OMSE truck. And this is a good reason to get the whole shot from now on, isn't it? If you don't want to be changing yours up through this section. This looks to me to be the bumpiest part as you cross the flat section onto the tarmac. Seppa from Janssen and Franks. What are the gaps? It's 5.9 back to Topane. They're all going to go Joker this time. So watch for the train at the front. These guys are on the Joker lap. Janssen rotates it in early and drops the FC2 down onto the line. Seppa's already there, though. Those two at the back might just get up to P3 if they're lucky. They're not getting it, though. So Seppa takes it.
Seppa P2 overall.
Oh, he's got you, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
I didn't want the second line anyway.
Oh, look. Fair play. 8.91. That was incredibly close for the session. 8.65. What are we talking? 20 hundredths in between them for the win of the session. But Linneman does hold on, which he needed because he got black flagged in Q1. So
and didn't
Seppa, McConnell
didn't actually lose any time in the first couple of corners. I was thinking, oh, he lost a bit in turn 1, but it didn't actually. There's Franks going wide, grabbing the wand and running deep in the door of Janssen. Lost a bit of time as well. Did Janssen there in the fight with Franks. I think Franks should have joked earlier and risked coming out in the traffic because he lost a fair bit.
Anton Seppa takes it 3:06.891. That means that he will be P2 in the session from Ulrich Lindemann. Fraser McConnell gets third. Tommy Howman gets fourth. We might have some intermediate standings for you. I'm not sure. Let's see what we've got. Let's see. We've got the points. We're just getting the final points in together, and then we are good to go. Great stuff. We are waiting to see if we can get the points. Can we get the points? Let's do some quick adding up.
You can do the maths.
You know what I'm like at maths, Brad. It's not my strong point. It's not my strong point. Peter. Intermediate standings. Let's see who's leading. Anton Sepper from Joni Tapainen, Kasper Janssen, Tommy Howman, and Elias Svensson.
Don't you know, Pampera?
Franks is 6th. Where is Fraser McConnell's P11? That's better, mate. That's into the semis at least. So it wasn't looking on.
We have 2 more qualifiers as well.
Yes, assuming we get them all the way tomorrow. So yeah, but I mean, you know, it's good to still. Yeah, that's a big move. That's 4 places up.
25 to start wasn't ideal, but followed it up with 42.
Yeah, so we're getting there. We are getting there. I like it. All right, sweet. Well, we've got a few guests on our sofa, so we're going to make a move over there while you guys look at drone shots. Fraser, thanks, mate. Well done.
Pleasure.
Tommy, thank you, mate. We'll catch up with you later on. Yeah, have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. So Fraser McConnell is off. Thank you, mate. So we're just sorting out our multitude of guests. I think we were going to have 2. We've got 4. So we've got 2 microphones. We'll hand those out in a minute, and then we'll be away. So do stay with us. These bugs are savage. I've never been bitten so much in my entire life. Right. We're ready in the studio. If you guys are with us in Stockholm, let's switch these on. Nobody said anything silly. Mics are on as well. We're in the studio, are we? Let's take a look at our pictures. Yes, we are. There it is. Wow, look at this. All the guests in the studio. We've got a couple of medals to give out. I don't think the boys even know about the medals yet. You've got Alex Lindqvist over here. Then we have Thomas Merstad. We've got Romet Cerner and Martin Ugar here. Now, you guys can get medals later. Don't worry. But these medals at the minute. So, first of all, Alex, this is you inspired the Full Send medal for 2025 with your sideways moment back in Holland. And a guy messaged me on, here we go, you might be able to see it. A guy messaged me on Instagram and said, do you want some medals? This is our friend Keith Colton. So he made some the other year. So that's yours because your send was epic there. And then Thomas, this is yours because we've never seen anybody roll a car before and then immediately continue to race. Now, we know the suspension was broken, but a round of applause, please, for like that was some moment. That was some moment. Hal's coming back and plugging himself in. Oh, Hal, we can have a look at your roll. Here you go. Here's a little picture here of your roll. Have a look at this. So this is Thomas Merstad, ladies and gentlemen, is in the red and blue car, which is in P2 at the moment. Watch this. It gets fired, rolls over. Watch this. Back on its wheels, and he doesn't even stop. He just bangs it down again and gets going. And we were like, this is epic. Look at that. He's full send on the way into the first corner. Alex is in this too, by the way. Lovely move from P5 to P3, slotting across the grid. It was clean. We liked it. And then, unfortunately, it all went to, went wrong, is the technical phrase. Get out of it. These bugs are savage. Hal, I think those are 2 deserving medals, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Talk us through that move, mate. It was it looked fairly well. It didn't actually land on the roof, did it? I was a bit worried about the damage, but it didn't look too heavy, the roll.
No, the car is actually quite fine. It was the left front suspension that got all the damage. So luckily I went on the no, unlucky. I went on the roof, but landed on the wheels. But left front wheel just left the chat, so not easy to drive then.
Oh, mate, but amazing stuff. Good to see Karen. And I say you're sent from Holland. I'm sure you're made up with that on the medal. I mean, doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Yeah, I needed a good time in Holland. I was like in the middle, so when I had a lead in the start, I was like, now I push everything I have. So.
Well,
yeah.
we'd seen you on the previous lap, and I was like, just watch him here in case he does it again. And it was like you did it twice as hard, so we like that. So you boys, this is what we need, okay, Romet, Martin? We want full send. We're not interested in lap times, all this boring tidy. It's full send, lock stops, and then you get a medal. I mean, I'm sure you really want a medal, but how are we going to respond to this? He rolled the car. How are you going to beat it?
Just get the win.
Just get okay.
Yeah, just battle it out for the win. I think it's the most smart way to go.
So no rolling.
No.
Not this time.
It will be quite expensive then.
Yeah, it's true. How are you finding the track?
Yeah, it's nice. The ruts are making it more interesting, for me at least. It's making it difficult, so you really have to pick your lines and see where you are actually going. Pick out the line already far ahead. So, yeah, it's nice. Also, the start like races is like if you're in the first heat, you will have a quite high possibility of being up in the qualifier, but you also have to really push in the later starts. So
you need good track conditions at the start, and if not, some risks to take. Romet, you feel the same way?
I'm feeling really good on the car right now. It's been best I ever had this year. So the ruts are a little bit difficult to manage, but I take the experience from last year autocross, which I made in Spain in Arteixo. So it's quite similar. I would say it's more like autocross track than rallycross track. So
because of the bumps or because of the amount of gravel?
The bumps and the gravel as well. Yeah, the fast gravel corners we don't see often with the rallycross tracks. Like maybe in Alpspin we see the same things. But yeah, this is more like autocross, and I like it. And I know the setup as well. So I'm feeling really confident right now.
Romet, you're clearly quick. Just talk us a little bit through the development you're going through with the TN11, because clearly these two boys driving the Speed Car Wonder, there's a lot more knowledge in the Speed Car chassis, but you've been working hard on the TN11 together with the whole LifeLive squad, haven't you? How is that going?
I'm not really much experience with different cars. DN5 was my first one. I have driven only once with the Wonder, with the Martin's old Wonder. But I would say, especially like this track, the autocross, similar to autocross, the LifeLive factory have so much experience with the autocross, and I feel that the car is made for the gravel, and we are still looking the best balance for the tarmac and the gravel section. So yeah, this track definitely helps for our cars.
And you guys happy with how the weekend's going so far?
It was okay, but we had a little incident in Q2. I was just trying to, when
he went over?
Was rolling, I was just trying not to hit him, because I will did more crash to him, and my front will also be. So I just tried to avoid him, and then the car died.
I was amazed you all managed to avoid him. Obviously not perfect for you, but I mean, can you still make the semis or no?
Yeah, I hope so. I have to do a good Q3 and Q4 to reach the semi-finals, because now I'm out of it, I think. But yeah.
At least with the 4 qualifiers, there's more opportunity to get back up, isn't there? With 3 qualifiers, it's very tough to get back in.
It's better for me now with 4 qualifications. So we're working to get the car ready now, and hopefully we get a good Q3.
All right, sweet. Well, I mean, if you really send it really hard, maybe you could go home with 2 medals and make it through to the semi-finals as well. You just never know. So I have some stickers as well, actually. Maybe we could do stickers if people win too. Lads, thanks so much for joining us in the commentary area, on the sofas, in the lounge. Should we call this the lounge?
Let's go.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
We can stay here. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe some beers now that you've finished racing for the.
No, we still have one quali left.
Me, we'll have some beers. You guys can't.
Call
just
us
sit
back
here.
a little bit later.
We'll call you back. I think it was 5:40 is going to be the next stream when these guys will be out. So we've got junior cross car and cross car to come. We're going to try and get
on a
half
separate
Q3.
stream.
Yeah, separate stream. Going to try and get Q3 away tonight. All depends on how they get on with the track. So join us at 5:40. I know the 24 Hours of Le Mans is going on, but you can watch that all night. It's fine. Nothing happens in the first bit anyway. So make sure you're watching RallyX 5:40. Join us then. We'll see you in a bit.